What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Flipping Live Show, the #1 daytime reselling talk show. Hopefully you can hear me, see me, possibly even smell me. If the lighting looks off, it's a little overcast. I'm using a webcam for the first time. I got one of these light boxes to try and make myself look better, but I freaking look like powder, if you know that movie. Today's guest, guys, I have been a fan since I think 88 was the first time I recognized him. And the fact that he has gone from the big screen to TikTok and now as a reseller. Let me just give you a little taste of his work and we'll bring him on. If you're watching on the replay, make sure you hit the like, drop a comment, and thank you for watching the replay. Try and catch a live every Thursday at noon. Again, guys, today, let me just show you.
I'm gonna kill you, man! Come on, get up! Come on! I'm gonna kill you, man!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Freaking Jiggly Thrift in the house. What's going on, man?
What's up?
Dude, ever since I saw you, I was like, that's that dude from Bloodsport and every other truck driver movie.
Everyone's been calling me Chumley from Pawn Stars for some reason.
Oh, man, you should just start immediately punching people in the face when they say that. You got to ask them. You're like, well, am I fat Chumley or am I new and improved keto diet Chumley? No.
I'm the old Chumley.
I see you rocking that Amon Amarth, man.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I found this at Goodwill.
Nice. Yeah, I'm actually selling this one. It's a size medium.
Oh, wow. I just get excited. I wear 3X, so whenever I find 3X, I just grab it no matter what it is.
Nice. Pittsburgh, right?
Yep.
Sweet. I did a little bit of research other than watching Bloodsport before you came on. What's going on, everybody in the Thrift? This is the worst part in the Thrift. Everybody in the live. This is my worst part of doing lives, is trying to keep up. Stacy, as always, in the chat, helping you guys. What's going on? What's up, Renzi? Now, what's up, Infinity? Sato. I can't say anybody's name right. MF, what's going on? LKO, what's up, Keith? Joey Bada Bing said he didn't go to Subway, then he was on camera at a Subway. What up, Blake? What the hell is a Denmark? What the hell is Denmark? What's up, Hammock? Dope shirt. What's up, Art friggin' Vandalay? Man, you're bringing all the heavy hitters in today. Again, guys, his color's nice and bright. Mine's a little dim. It's overcast outside. I'm wearing a grumpy shirt. So new webcam, trying things out. Again, I got a light box. So, man, I've never talked to a TikTok star. Like, how did this happen? What?
I wouldn't even say star. Like, honestly, I started posting on the 17th or 18th of last month, and my first video got 4,000 views or something. So, obviously I just kept it up, and yeah, I had a couple videos. The one video is about to hit 600,000 views. The one's about to hit 400,000 views. So they've just been I guess, carrying me along the way.
Well,
just starting out on TikTok. So
anything that has 600,000 views, you're a freaking celebrity. You need to go ahead and get photo headshots done, start autographing them. That's insane. That would be the equivalent of if a song on one of my band's Spotify's got 600,000, I would be like, oh, don't even look at me when I'm in public, people. That's awesome, man. I don't do the TikTok. I am starting to get into Reels because I can do a bunch of different impersonations, but
yeah,
a lot of in 2021, you got to watch the different types. You don't want to offend people. And I'm pretty good at doing that, apparently. I have recently been having trouble with the post office not scanning in my packages. Do you recommend paying up for priority? Okay, so I don't know if people are aware of this. I saw a video with Joey doing this. Of course, as a mailman, he would know that. But if your post office has one of those kiosks where you can put your package and weigh it, just click other and then scan. And you can scan in your own packages right there at the kiosk and then print out the receipt and then just drop them off at the counter. That's what I do. That way
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I take everything up to the register and get a receipt. I don't, I want to make sure they're scanned in. I have 3-day handling on all my items. I don't know why. I mean, I did this part-time for a while, so I was working around like a real job, I guess you would call it. But yeah, so I've just always had 3-day handling time, and it's been nice. It's nice for like the weekend and stuff too. Like sell something on Thursday, you don't have to ship it out till Monday. Even though I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I should probably make the change to like 2 or 1 day handling.
So I was always told like if you have free shipping, 30-day return, and 1-day handling, eBay kind of promotes your stuff more in the algorithm because you're considered like the prime of eBay. But also that 1-day handling kind of turns into a nightmare sometimes. Like if we're out of town or anything like that, and I forget to change it. But usually, like if someone's to buy stuff on Friday, you have till Monday to ship it. We only have one post office in our area that's even open on Saturdays. For whatever reason, the post office isn't open on Saturday here. But you wait in line to get your stuff scanned in. I used to be like that, but now with the whole COVID thing, they only allow 3 people in at a time. And the line's wrapped around the door from 8 a.m. to 5, and I just don't have time for it. So I just go to the kiosk, scan them in, get the receipt, and just cross my fingers.
See, I have a ton of post offices in my area, but they're all like from the 1800s. Like I'm surprised they even have a computer in there. So I mean, there's no kiosk or any sort of like drop box or anything. There's one mailbox out front and one teller. That's it. They're all the same.
See, everybody's agreeing with me, man. You started doing your TikTok on you said the 17th of last month?
17th or 18th. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So 600,000 is insane. That's I think you're onto something. I would keep going that. Yeah, 1-day handling is too much. I think I'm going to scale back to 2 as well. Guys, also, I didn't want to do too much promo, but so I got roasted by Harry on the last live for being a small fish. And then Stacy went and bought something from him, and he sent us the thank you card, and he signed it. So I went ahead and signed it and threw it up as a 99-cent auction. It's now over $100. 100% of the proceeds are going to go to animal rescue. And my goal, my long-term thing that I had in my mind was hopefully a reseller wins it so it doesn't get too crazy high. They sign it, set up another 99-cent auction, and we just keep this cycle going to get a bunch of awesome signatures on that card. And each person that relists it can pick a charity of their choice, and it's just something cool. But again, it's over $100 right now. So if you want, go to the links in my bio on the Instagram. That was the high card. I stole it. I didn't even let her have it. I was mad she bought something for another man roasting. How dare you, Stacy?
I was the highest bidder for like,
dude, I saw that for like 2 seconds, and I was just like, wow, we're starting early. We got 6 days, guys. And then it's over $100 now. And I'm like, oh, we still got 6 days, everyone.
Yeah.
Switch to 2-day handling. Yeah, 1 day is a little hard to do.
I'll tell you what, I went through my store because I didn't even like offer returns, like not even like buyer pays returns. I just was like, I guess I did like the bare minimum. I just kind of, listed stuff and hoped for the best and figured it out along the way. But I recently went through and switched every single listing to 30-day shipping, 30-day returns. And I was having like 17, 15, 12 sales a day. Like they were just going crazy just from, I guess, interacting with those listings.
Yeah, people are really, I think Amazon has pretty much spoiled everyone. They want like prime shipping, and they want to be able to turn it back in. Now, one thing I'm hoping eBay starts to crack down on, especially, is just like the what do they call it? There's a name for it. I call it stupid, but there's an actual term. It's like when you buy something and you're like remorse buying.
Yeah.
If you're a because I get a lot of those, unfortunately, where people are like, hey, I'm returning these because the shoes are ugly. I'm just like, what? I was
talking to you, I think, about those insoles that I sold. The buyer bought them, and like I said, they fit my size 13 foot. So, the buyer must have had a humongous foot or just buyer's remorse. So, I'm trying to sell those again.
That, like, obviously, you're going to accept the return, but I think there should be some sort of compensation for the buyer remorse. I think I've heard they're working on is if you're a top rated seller, you'll be able to do like a partial refund. Now, obviously it's probably not going to be 50%, but You know, even like a restock fee or something, just to, hey man, like I think that'll teach buyers. Sometimes you just kind of like a dog, you got to like smack them on the nose and be like, hey, don't do that. Don't buy stuff if you're going to return it or you don't know your size. Had a buyer last Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday wanted to know why I didn't ship it. Oh yeah, I get that all the time. I had a guy, literally, he just bought like this vintage briefcase. I accepted his offer and he's like, I will pay in the morning. I said, cool. So the morning came. In the morning, I get all my packages packed and I get to the post office when I drop the kids off at daycare. If you aren't on that list, your item goes out the next day because that's the way it works. He hadn't paid by that time. So he paid at like 10 o'clock. I'd already done my post office run for the day. And he was just like, at like 2 o'clock, he messaged. He's like, I don't know if you're aware, but I paid this morning. Can you please ship my item? And I said, yes, you paid after I'd already gone to the post office. And since you paid today, I don't have to ship it till tomorrow. So I will get your item out. Also, I accepted your $20 lower offer than what I wanted because I don't like, if it's not shoes, I don't really care too much.
Yeah, me neither. My shipping bus leaves at like 11 a.m. Anything after that,
See, I think it's good to have that set time. It keeps you in check, it gets you on your system, and then you're not catering to you're not scrambling around all day. Oh crap, I got to ship this because I just bought it. So that's another reason I was thinking about changing my my handling time. What's up, Nana Tink? Guys, if you're not following Nana Tink, she's one of the people that created or gave me the idea to create a watch hour playlist to help us get to our 4,000 hours. That was genius. She also helps other resellers get there by putting them on at night and then putting it on mute and just letting it play through. So make sure you are subscribed. Hey, Art, I'm actually going to start copy and pasting or copying into my phone my eBay lowball offer replies and stuff like that and sending it so I can just send it to you guys in the DM because I play around on eBay. I have a good time. Like, you know, I'm never mean, but I will, like, somebody sends me a lowball offer. If I press decline, I got 500 characters to say something. I'm gonna say something.
My thing's been, sorry, I cut you off again.
Oh, that's cool. It's your show.
That's your show. After you.
What's up, Dana? Pittsburgh, you have, I'll probably get the name wrong. Is it the Pamanti brothers? That's y'all's claim to fame other than the Steelers?
Yeah. I think it's overrated. It's just,
I think it's like Gino and Pat's in Philly. It's like, if you're from Philly, you don't eat at Gino and Pat's. And I imagine you probably don't go get the sandwich.
No, it's that. I think I've had them 3 or 4 times in my life. I can make a better sandwich at home.
Nice. Yeah, usually anything that shows up on like diners, drive-ins, and dives show or anything on Food Network, like, you don't eat there if you live in that city. You're like, yeah, I've heard of that place. That's a tourist attraction.
Yep, 100% tourist attraction.
I want to see Art put a stack of pants on his head as he explains why he didn't know why he bought them. Yeah, his channel's awesome.
Yes, it is.
What I know you just did was it the Nashville Flipper Show? So I don't want to ask any of the same questions. So if you guys don't know who I'm speaking to and you missed the opening spot where you saw him in Bloodsport, then make sure you go to his Instagram. I actually have a little banner. It's right there. I'm assuming you had to put the period because there was already a Jiggly Thrift, or did you just add that?
I think I just added it to separate the words. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Jiggly Thrift, though. I try to be unique, but there's just so many people on Instagram.
Yeah, and
everyone's thought of something.
It's kind of like how when the internet craze happened, people would buy up domains and then just hold them and sell them. People are doing that with Instagram handles. You can buy and sell them. Like, somebody owns Flip the World. That's why we're Flip the World TX. And they've only got like 3 posts on it. They don't post at all, but they own that handle. And I've reached out to try and buy it, but they haven't responded. So I think they just made it, and then it's like a young kid. So
yeah,
they've ruined it for me. What have you done any sourcing today? Yesterday?
No, none. I've been sourcing for my death pile. I had my first like big time, like full-time payout yesterday. So I I've just been like real cheap with my money. I'm like, I'm going to source from the house for the rest of the week. I'm going to save some of that money. But, if you don't source, you don't make money. And I've had 2 days, no sales so far. So,
Oh yeah. Are you listing every day or?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have to list every day or else I'll just, I have days like this where no sales, but I don't know. I kind of got spoiled whenever I went through, like I said, and changed everything to accepting returns. Cause like I said, 15, 17 sales a day, but
Yeah.
I'll take 4 or 5, even being full time. Like I'll take 4 or 5 sales a day. I don't know if it's just me or everyone, but I don't really need that much money to keep things going.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a
I'm
good.
pretty low maintenance.
That's a good place to get to.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people that get into reselling do it as like a side thing to hopefully get to that point, like pay off debt, pay off school loans, pay off house, pay off car, whatever, and then get to a place where, hey, I really don't have to make that much money to survive,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome. And if you're already at that point, that's even better. If you
Mm-hmm.
guys don't know, he recently went full time. What was it? You had knee surgery, right? Like you just
Yeah, I had
basically destroyed everything in your knee.
Yeah, I had knee surgery, and then I went back to my full time like real job that I had at the time, and I just wasn't able to keep up with it. It was like a on your feet all the time, like lifting heavy stuff. Like it was a junkyard that I worked at. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I couldn't keep up with like a knee that's at 25%, if that. So yeah, on July 1st, I just went in, and that was my last day working.
Yeah, it's one of those places where you gave it 2 weeks and they're like, "Cool, you're fired."
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
No
That
hard
is-
feelings. It was scary, but like I mean, I was able to jump in, start sourcing, listing, got all my shipments out for the day. I was like, all right, this is full time. I got,
that's I think I was talking with Ty from Hammock yesterday about this. I think that there's a small majority. It might be larger than I think, but of people that actually do better in whatever avenue of life they're trying to go in. If they just jump off the cliff and they
mhm,
figure out where the pull cord is on the parachute before they hit the ground, because it's like
yeah,
you're forced to either adapt or die. And I don't know, maybe it's some Cro-Magnon Neanderthal part of our brain, but that instinct kicks in where it's like, okay, well, I'm either going to fail miserably and
hmm
smash into the ground, or I'm going to figure out how to pull this and get it going. And with reselling, it's one of the easier ways to start doing stuff on your own as a
hmm
self-employed person.
yeah. I mean, it started with like a Pokemon card that I listed sitting on the floor, and I listed it. By the time I stood up, it had already sold. I wasn't really familiar with sold listings at the time, so I guess I sold it way cheaper than I should have. And yeah, that was my first listing, and then from there, it's just from that like first sale, I've just been trying to get away from working. I just wasn't interested in it anymore. Just knowing that I could make money as fast or as slow as I wanted to, I could do what I wanted to during the day. Because I was just, I was born like a lot of people, just thinking, you have to get a full
Yep.
time day job, and then that's just what it is. I remember like trying to explain to my dad what I was going to do. I mean, I was trying to tell him like, oh, I'm going to sell stuff on eBay online, and he's like, oh, Mike, they're gonna catch on to you. They're gonna catch on, and people are gonna stop paying for money for all that stuff. I'm like, do you really think that's how it works?
Yeah.
And then he was like, what are you gonna do with retirement? What are you gonna do for health insurance? And yeah, I had all that stuff figured out within 3 days of leaving my job. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just
Again,
you have to do it.
it's adapt or die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always leery about that part as well, especially now with shutting down our actual like business, our pest control business. Like we're starting to tell customers, because we're getting to that point where customer service now won't get another service in the year, so this is their
Mm-hmm.
last time, and that's the initial. Oh well, what are you guys selling? Are you getting another job? What's happening? And just like, I'm not telling you what I'm doing, so how can I make this sound? I'm just like, oh well, we have other business ventures, and
Mm-hmm.
leave it at that.
Yeah, I saw your story about the unhappy customer the other day. I absolutely love that. It's just like such a liberating feeling, just telling someone how you feel and going to do what you want to do.
Oh, for sure. I From my first job at 16 at Taco Bell, well, my first job was mowing yards at 13, and then I realized I was too fat and it's too hot, and and it's not going to work because I literally moved to Texas. I started mowing my yard, and then I asked my neighbor, "Can I mow your yard?" And then I started mowing the whole street. But like the first time I went out in the summertime in Houston to mow our yard, I like blacked out because it's like 12 noon, just fat mowing, and then pass out. Mom's like, "Hey, you should do this in the morning or at night." And I'm like, where am I? Can I go get food? Art, I've been reselling since 2017. He started July 1st, June 1st.
I started full-time July 1st, but I've been doing it since I actually started July 23rd, 2020. So just like part-time. July 23rd, 2020, I started part-time, just tinkering around, like selling stuff, like my own stuff, just stuff that I've collected. Then I started sourcing slowly, but full-time since July 1st.
Awesome. I love it. Stay away from Amazon. So they just opened 2 here, and there's another one that opens on the 13th, which I think is tomorrow. I personally don't do it because, like I said, I try to concentrate on I tried to niche down to similar categories and stuff that I enjoy, because I found that if it's not something I'm into, there's no urgency for me to list it, to prep it, to get it uploaded. It's just, I'm not into it. I like shoes. They're easy for me. Everyone needs them. So it's a great category for us. So I personally, we don't go to the overstock bins for profit. Now we might go just to look for, like gifts and personal use stuff. Are you primarily a thrifter?
Just like 100%. I'm not even really sure what the Amazon overstock is. It just like a Goodwill bins?
Yeah, so it's bins, but it's all returns from Amazon. A lot of it's new in package, or it's like overstock items.
If I'm selling something like sealed, I like it to be like a new old stock item. I don't like the being able to go to a store and buy something that you could get any day of the week from Amazon or from Walmart or whatever. I like to find like the weird stuff to kind of like, then to people, like pass along. Like someone might have been looking for a specific plush or toy or something for 10 years, who knows?
Yeah. You had mentioned that in your last thing about the monkey. You were saying like, I like finding stuff like this because when I sell it to somebody, I know that I helped them find something that there's not a lot of. It's a rare thing. And you're like part of that. And I think that's awesome. That's a cool mindset to have. A lot of, people just assume, oh, you're a reseller. You're either like a scalper or you're just like in to rip people off. But like, they don't see the back end of it where it's like, I'm finding something that just happens to be in a store I'm at that someone across the country has been searching on eBay for forever. And then boom, there it is. Yep. I think that's why vintage is now starting to blow up also, because the toys, especially toys back then, were made better than they are now. And I can just attest to that because of all the newer toys that we buy for our kids that get broken in like a week. And I'm just like, I've had these Ninja Turtles since I was your age and they're still in great condition. And I beat the heck out of them. Why is this arm missing on this toy I just bought you?
I kind of like applied that to shoes a little bit too. It's not going to be like, people aren't going to be looking for like a specific pair of shoes for like, 5-10 years. Like, there might be a toy or something that's super rare. Yeah. But with shoes, I just like, honestly, I'll pick like, not anything up, but I'll pick up some, shoes that are going to sell for $19.99 plus shipping, $24.99 plus shipping, because I just like to, just pass them on. I've always liked shoes and hats. Those were always like my thing. So if I can pass on like a pair of shoes or a hat or something that, just it feels good on top of like getting that money for it, obviously.
Guys, did you hear that? Make sure you're following this guy. He's not scalping people. He's enjoying it. He's got a humongous water thermos.
Yeah, I had to beat you. I saw that Bucky's cup in your other videos. I had to one up you with this.
Yeah, I was like, drink it. I don't even like Chick-fil-A. I don't eat anything there, but I was like, let me have your drinks for the show in case I start getting hair in my mouth. Ryan and Lindsay said when they first started shoes, everyone laughed. Now they're asking for a job. Yeah, that's true. Like they hit 500,000 in profit. That's after fees and everything on their Poshmark, and it's just like you can't. What is it? What's the expression? Don't hate us because you ain't us. Like that's the whole thing. Like no matter what it is, whether it be reselling, whether it be me being 16 years old and telling my parents like, hey. I'm not gonna go to college. I'm gonna jump in a van with my buddies, and we're gonna travel the country and play heavy metal music, and that's what I'm gonna do. And them laugh and be like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I've heard you play. It's horrible." And then I still did it, and I still do it. I'm like 20 years later, I'm still getting on stage and playing this horrible music for people that don't think it's horrible. And I think anything that you do, there's going to be people that are like, oh, well, that's dumb. But once you start focusing on what you want to do, that circle gets small and all that, it just becomes background noise. It's like, that's the same reason why I don't watch the news or pay attention to anything like that. I try to concentrate on my small circle. And then as far as what I can do in my community, as far as helping, like I can't help whatever's going on in this part of the world or this part of the world, but I can make an impact in this part that I live in, my community. So that's what I focus on. And once you start narrowing that down on looking at your business like that, or your personal life or friends or anything like that, everything seems to fall into place.
That's what I'm glad you said something along those lines, because that was something about like working a day job, like I was really close with everyone I worked with. It was just, it was a small little place. I was close with everyone, but not everyone's going to be happy for you all the time. No. You know what I mean? So like you'd be going to work, like trying to, all excited. I'd wake up and I'd have like 2 or 3 sales, and then I'd go to work and I just, you'd come in contact with a miserable person, or I would be the miserable person, and I just, it's just like now that I'm full time, I just like to, it's fun to like interact with the reselling community and just like myself here, just like getting work done. You don't have to worry about anyone's opinion, and like the opinions you do here kind of, in the same mindset as you for the most part. So
totally.
I got to say the community's been like a big part of my success. It keeps me away from listing every once in a while, or keeps me away from this or that, but it's I don't know, it's not that the community's a lot better than it is bad, I guess I should say.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's Facebook groups and other things in the community that are you're going to have your people, but again, that's with anything. Greg said, I like turtles. Dude, that kid's probably still rich from that. He's probably an adult now. I like turtle. Ducks fly together, for real. That's the same. Once you get, again, it all comes down to aligning yourself with people with the same mindset. You might have different goals, but if the mindset's the same, it all kind of works its way together. Like, I don't know if you personally in your business, because that's how I look at it. When people say reselling, they usually think of side hustle, but it's a business, whether it's part-time or full-time. If you've created like, I want to make at least X amount per item that I sell. Like I want to sell at least 3x my profit, or, like for us, minimum for profit has to be $15. That's just, it's not worth it for us to do things lower than that. And we learned that, and that's something we had to learn, because your mindset for us in the beginning was, oh, well, even if we're selling a bunch of stuff that's $10 items, at least we're generating daily sales. Because our original goal was we just have to sell $125 worth of stuff a day gross. And then over time that'll build. And that works. It's good, but you acquire a lot of stuff. Yeah. So then you have 1,000 $10 items. I would much rather have, 100 $50 items.
Yeah, I started in the beginning, like I didn't, I wasn't looking through like sell-through rates and stuff in the beginning. Like I was just, I hate to keep coming back to it, but I was working full time. So I had to see like the potential in everything that I found at the thrift store. So I was, picking up VHS tapes that would sell for $6-7. I was picking up, I was selling like CDs, I was selling, stuff, and it just wouldn't add up. It was so much work. Like I think my first month I sold like 150 items, and it was just such a low number. And then that's whenever I, started messing around with stuff. And honestly, like I'm not even in a place right now where I'm like comfortable with reselling. Like I'm like learning every single day, like I just pretty much started with the shoes, but I mean, I jumped in heavy, but I don't, I'm still learning what sells, what doesn't sell. Like I'm like with the shoes, I'm nervous about like keeping inventory. Like, do you guys ever have problems with like shoes falling apart or getting like dry rotted after sitting for so long, or do you
So
like?
ultimately, the goal. So I try to stay away from, unless it's like an extremely rare vintage shoe. Like I
Mhm.
try to stay away from anything that's too old or,
Yeah.
um, and then I mean, our shoes are actually in like the front office of our house, so we don't have like
Mhm.
a storage unit like humidity or anything like that. I know people like polybag them and use totes instead of like the shelving systems.
Yeah.
They get moisture in the shoes, which can crack things. So you have to, if you go that route, you have to get those little like little things that'll kill you or whatever, those little soak packs. You put those in the
Yeah.
shoes. But no, for me, like I beat the shoes up in the thrift or at the bins before I
Mhm.
decide to purchase them. I basically taco them and then I'll
Yeah.
twist them, just to try and avoid that. But the shoe goats are in the chat. Maybe they've got maybe had, but no, I've never had any dry rot. I know I've had it with t-shirts, like vintage shirts, and
Yeah.
it breaks my heart. Like you go to pull it and it just kind of rips down the middle, and you're just like, oh, that's how Hulk Hogan did it every time.
Yeah, I keep my shoes all on shelves and stuff, just in a storage unit, but it's like a semi
Climate
climate
control.
controlled. So yeah, it's like I don't have to pay for the climate control, but I'm like right up against it.
Sweet.
So I get the climate control. So
Nice. Yeah, I think honestly, the shelves suck. I think anybody that sells shoes and starts getting these things collapse all the time. Um, it's just one of those trial and error things. Like I noticed that when it says, so this is a 10 tier 50 pair. If you read the fine print, the 50 pair are women's size 6 flats. That's what can fit on here. 50 pairs of
mm,
women's size 6 or under flats, not gigantic size 13. So I put all the heavy stuff at the bottom and kind of do the lighter stuff at the top, but they've collapsed multiple times and it ruins my
how
whole day.
how much are those shelves?
They have doubled in price. So I used to be able to get these 10 tier for $18.99 on Amazon plus shipping or free shipping. And
Mhm.
now they're like, eBay is where I got the last one. It was $25.99, but they're like 32. Um, if you have a Christmas tree store, which I don't, apparently they're cheaper there. That's all I have is Walmart, and they don't have the 50 rack. I have one crappy one from Walmart. It's right there. It's like a
I
4 rack.
I was just gonna say that I don't have any here like in the house to show you, but the best shoe rack that I found is from Walmart. It's like $13 for like a 30 pair expandable shoe rack, and it's 4 tiers. But I mean, I sell like any kinds of shoes, so I can fit like it's supposed to fit 5 pairs of shoes per shelf, and you can fit 5 pairs of like boots or like
Oh,
big
nice.
shoes on each shelf. So I've been using those, and they're stackable. So yeah, my storage unit, I have like 2 sets of those. I think I bought like 9 of them or something, and just made like 2 super shelves.
Oh,
And
sweet.
they're metal, so I mean they don't fall or anything or crack or I don't know. I paid a little extra, but you know.
Well, see, my after this collapsed the second time, and I came home just to like piles of shoes on the floor, and then like I went outside and screamed. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take down all this art and all my toys, and I'm just gonna build a
Mhm.
freaking built-in wooden. Just all you got. Basically, I would just put wood up next to it to measure it, and then mark the shelf spacing, and then just run, 4x6s the whole length of the wall, and that way I wouldn't have to
Mhm.
deal with that again, and then just mount it. But then lumber is like 900 times X now because of nobody can find lumber, so it's just cheaper to buy these, and when they fall, I just cry and then do it again. I can't do the totes. Like I've said this before, Little Elms Goods, they do the totes, and they do about 22 pairs per tote that they put in their unit, but their entire garage is full of totes, and I don't have that space, and then my inventory system is me looking and finding them. So
Sorry for the noise.
Oh, I don't hear anything.
Oh, you don't hear anything? All right, good.
Yeah.
A tag team lawn mowing crew just came by. It's
Nice.
pouring down rain. They're cutting grass just because I'm talking to you.
Gotta make
I
that
just
money.
wanted to mess it up.
Gotta make that money, man. Oh, Stacy knocked my shoe rack down on purpose. That's what it was. That sounds about right. We've already been going through your eBay store, so I'm like, man, if he roasts me, what are you going to buy? I saw you have like 546 listings, I think, right now. Which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I don't, I kept it around like 300 to like 350. And then as soon as I went full time, I just went crazy sourcing with like any extra money I had left from, like paychecks, real job paychecks, just spent all those on sourcing. And and it's grown up to 546, I guess. I don't even keep track anymore. I just keep track of, I guess, how much stuff is selling.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously,
honestly, that's what you want to focus on. Also, you just said a real job. You have a real job. Reselling is a real job.
I should have said real job.
The
air quotes
no,
make it better.
Society's real job.
Yeah.
What's up, TJ? Are you still leading the charge on that autograph, man? I think it's like $152. Y'all are insane. I'm gonna start signing everything.
Yeah.
It's not my signature. They want Harry Tornado's signature.
I have a signature on a card. I bought something from him.
I've been practicing it all day. I'm just gonna start selling knockoffs.
Yeah, I think I was the highest bidder for like 2 minutes. I said I bid $20 just in the very beginning. And I went back on expecting to see like, I was outbid like $20.50 or $21, and it was like 100 or over 100. So yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna wait until I'm trying to win it. I am gonna try to win it, but I'm not gonna bid it up in the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome.
Before you know, it'll be $1,000.
Utah Bought and Gone, man. They're having like a mega source out there in Utah. Got him, got Tim, got Drew, and Joey just going in and taking over every DI they can find. That's
Those places are going to be empty whenever
I know.
Leave.
Like all the other resellers in that area, like once they found out that Tim lives there, they're just like, I guess I'm going to go back and get a 9 to 5.
Yeah, I mean, if you did live near him, you'd honestly have to move if you wanted to like pursue resell, unless you like specialized in shoes or clothing, which is shoes are a little easier to specialize in. Clothing, I have the hardest time. But yeah, I mean, if you were trying to compete with him for like hard goods and stuff in his area, it's impossible,
Yeah,
I watch his videos.
It's funny, like him. I have a note on my phone of like 5 links for resellers. Whenever anybody, even my parents, in the beginning, like, oh, you're gonna do what? Yeah, you can't survive off that. I'm like, oh, cool. Check this. This is one man in Utah, $73,000 90-day, one-man show. Doesn't have employees. Does it all himself. Yep. It's all thrifted stuff. He doesn't
out of an apartment too, I think.
Yeah, which just it's literally just comes down to changing your mindset, or if you've already had that mindset of like, I learned very early on, probably like 6th or 7th grade, I learned that school was not for me as far as like, I like reading, I like learning, education, all that good stuff. But the school part aspect, I just, my brain was like, hey, they're just teaching me how to wake up early and be at one place for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They're training me to work a 9 to 5. When I wake up, I go to school at the same time my dad goes to work. And when I come home from school, my dad's coming home from work. So that's my future. If I stick and I'm just like, I'm out.
Yep. I did like, it took me like a quarter of a semester at a college to realize it wasn't for me. It's just, learning to hopefully get a job and be in a ton of debt. Like, I don't, nothing against you if you do it,
Yeah.
but I just couldn't do it. I had no interest. So yeah, I've just been working ever since. I remember I graduated high school, and I remember the next morning, I showed up to work at 6 a.m. Like, everyone else is going away, and I was just working. I'm like, this is my life. Like, that's, I needed somewhere to go. I didn't have anywhere to go with school anymore, but I did miss as many days as possible back whenever I was in school, though. I remember that. I did the bare minimum. How many days can I miss? That's how many I'm going to miss. And then, I made it through the year.
Yeah, for sure. You get your basic math so you can operate a cash register. You get your communication, your English, so you can communicate with people, and your speech and your development, and you learn how to write. And then, all right, that's all three things you need to do most entry-level jobs. And then from there you move on. But yeah, that's the thing. So the day after graduation, you wake up and you're like, well, what do I do now? If you didn't already have in place that you were going to college. Like my poor parents, I got a full scholarship because I'm actually smart. I look stupid, but I'm actually pretty smart.
No, you don't look stupid.
I got a full scholarship to Charleston Southern University, and I went for the tour, and I literally quit, and I was like, nah, I don't want to go. In the office, while the people were talking to me about how great the school was and all this stuff, like when my mom's sitting there, I was just like, yeah, I'm sorry. Even
you just have to wonder, like, how many people are excited for that next, like, life venture, and how many people just think that that's the next step in life that they have to do. That's like the sad part, because you pile up some serious debt, doing something that you're not sure if you want to do. I mean, I'm not trying to like preach about school or college or anything. It wasn't for me. I
think if it's hard to go into too much without sounding just like, like you're saying, like somebody that's anti, but I think that the reality of the things that you say or that you decide you want to, like when you're a kid, you're like, I'm going to be a doctor. Okay, well, my school, let's say there was 3,000 people in that graduating class, and let's say 10% of those people when they were a kid wanted to be a doctor and took those steps. There's still only going to be maybe a 1% of those people that are actually going to become a doctor. So out of 3,000 people, you're going to get like one doctor. So like the odds are that 90% of your graduating class have menial, just regular 9-to-5 jobs. Like, and that's just statistically how life is. It's not a knock on anybody. There are jobs that I can't even talk about that I've done. So I am in no way judging anybody for whatever they choose to do for work. I even give props to the homeless guy down the street from me, because at least he's creative enough to come up with different signs every week that usually make me laugh. Like, he was one of the first people that held a sign up that said, "Bet you can't hit me with a quarter." I thought that was hilarious. I threw an entire thing of pennies at him. I was like, I can't hit you with a quarter, but I know I can hit you with a penny. It's just splatter. Like he changes up the game, and whatever. He's homeless, he does whatever with his money, but he's hustling, and I hey, respect to that. That's but yeah. So I just think the way that the way they try to train, you can be anything. It's like statistically you can't. Yeah. So find what you enjoy, what you're passionate about, and just follow that route wherever it takes you. And if it takes you to poverty, find another route. So I still make $0 for any music that I've ever done. I have it's like 7 or 8 records that I have put out. And what I look at is what I got from that is I was able to travel. I've been all over. And I might not, be Motley Crue and have all this millions of dollars and all that, and I don't have a drug problem. But I've been a lot of places that a lot of people will never go because of playing a guitar. So that was the money. That was the reward that I got back from that. So
yeah, just enjoying every second of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I have the scars and the memories until I get Alzheimer's of all of that fun stuff. I will tell you, one of the jobs that I had that I usually talk about, in between tours, I got a job in an adult viewing room. I was just in a glass square, and people would come in, and I would buzz them into the back, and there was like 23 private rooms, and they all had TVs with like 36 movies playing, and they did whatever they had to do. And then we closed at 4 a.m. and from 4 to 7, I would put on this spacesuit, and I would go back and I would clean out the rooms. It was gross, but I have awesome stories that I can't share, and I made like $1,000 a week. So.
Dirty jobs, yeah.
Oh yeah, I would. Mike Rowe would not come there. I had a naked heroin junkie try to attack me with a needle still in his arm. It was great. Those are the experiences you can't get at a 9 to 5.
Yeah, I mean, even digging through the bins, like the Goodwill bins, is such an experience. You know, like the stuff you touch. You know, it's crazy, and you know, everyone's trying to make money. I don't think anyone goes there for like personal use items, because I mean, there's no like glassware section, hard goods section, clothing section. It's just bins. So I mean, you got to figure everyone you're there with is like competition. I guess they're all resellers. So I mean, it's, you know, like for me, it's always nerve-wracking. Like my heart starts beating whenever I get to the bins.
You get that anxiety. Yeah, I look at the bins as like a metaphor for life. That is exactly, it's chaos, and you have to navigate through the chaos, make the best choices, and hopefully make the best decision. Hey, shout out Ray, the Disabled Picker. Hi, a shoe seller from across the pond. Tip of the day to you, mate. I don't know why I said mate. I don't think that's please don't cancel me for that. No. What's going on? That's the only reels I do on Instagram, is I do like a British voice and then my country voice. And I've always been fascinated. I just watch shows and I start talking like this.
That's pretty good.
I try.
I heard your country voice too. That's even better.
Oh, dude, that's just literally, that's my baseball coach growing up in North Carolina. Like that's where I got that from. Like that dude is in my head because he used to yell at me all the time. Hatfield, run, you fat. That's back when coaches could cuss like that, because it's my dad's friend was the coach. Yeah. Little hustle in there, chubby. Did not have dreams to be professional. Dana Invest, he actually probably is more hated than a regular reseller, because he does primarily estate sales. So he's basically profiting off of dead people. But he said he was attacked by a naked guy before on a construction site.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So
I've been
attacked by a naked guy. You've been attacked by a naked guy.
I have never been attacked by a naked guy, nor have I been to an estate sale. Are they worth it? It's just like.
So he lives in an area from, I caught him on Marcus's live. He lives in an area where they have like a retirement community. And so I'm assuming the way it goes is every time someone from the tribe dies, they just have an estate sale. So he gets to go to a ton of them. But I've only been to a few estate sales here, because we have a buddy that'll give us like the heads up. And we find some good things, but usually he only lets me know if it's like they have a lot of shoes, because it's mostly, for me, it was just personal stuff. We went in there, got some cool personal stuff, but it's a little weird, because usually whoever's doing an estate sale is they've hired a company. So that way that company has no attachment. And then they also bring in their own stuff to try and mix in, so they can make some money too. So it's not just that person's house. But usually someone from the family is there as well. And so it's kind of like awkward when you're like haggling over something. It's like, oh, your mom died? I'm so sorry to hear that. Would you take 3 on this cup? I don't know. I saw Reezy Resell do like a video about like going to estate sales, and like he filmed the lady talking about, oh, my father passed like 2 weeks ago, and so we're just trying to move some of his stuff. And like he didn't say I'm sorry or sorry for your loss or anything. He like went right into 50% lower than what she was asking, and like people destroyed him in the comments. And he was just like, look, I'm a reseller. Like they're selling stuff. I'm going to try and get the best price to make more money. Like obviously it sucks that their dad died, but I'm just like, I don't know. To me, I can't do it. I just don't have the sorry for your loss. $2. I'm trying to make at least 20 on this, so I need my bike.
I'll make a pile. Maybe we can make a bulk deal at the end.
I mean, I'll do that at yard sales. I'll go to a yard sale towards the end of the day, and I'll be like, "Hey, what time are you guys going to stop? And what are you doing with everything when it's done?" "Oh, we're going to donate it." "Okay, well, if I come back, can I buy all of the shoes for a bulk price?" I'll do stuff like that.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I have the hardest time like haggling with people at like flea markets and stuff, because a lot of the times they're like doing like I notice the stuff is like the same things that I'm selling. So it's like, to me, it feels like a low ball offer on eBay, but at the same time, it is, a flea market, not eBay. So I'll usually send my girlfriend up to like haggle with them, because she has no shame. She'll, be like, "Oh, well, you take 2 for this." I don't like it. I like Goodwill. Just buy stuff from
the price is the price.
The price is the price.
I think
whenever I first started, I used to try to like haggle with Goodwill, like, "Oh, I found 3 of these. You think we could?" And they're like, "That's not how it works here. This is Goodwill."
You're like, "Sir, this is a McDonald's." You're like, "I want 3 of the cheeseburgers. Can we work it?" No, it'll be fun to come back to that statement. I think in maybe a year, maybe less. I bet your haggling skills you'll be a haggler. Like, I don't like doing it personally either. Stacy usually does it very well at yard sales and flea markets, but I've gotten to the point now where in my mind I'm just like, they got it for less, I'm getting it for less. So especially when you start seeing people, like a lot of the people that go to our bins that are my shoe competition, they just buy them at the bins and then they sell them at the flea market. So whereas I don't jump into new rows as much anymore because they like dominate. I know, like, okay, well, I'm not going to get it for $1.79 a pound today, but I can wait 3 days when the flea market opens up, and I can go buy them from these people for $5, and they've already cleaned them. So I'll pay up the extra little bit because I can still make money. But yeah, usually those people buying them for $1.79 a pound are selling them for no more than $10 at the flea market. So I just kind of learned, like, okay, follow that person, ask them oh, you sell at the flea market? Cool. And then go to their booth and just buy them out, and you don't have to clean them.
That's my favorite part of reselling shoes, though, is the cleaning process. Bringing home like a terrible looking, even if you just like get a toothbrush and some warm water and just once over with it, just how amazing they can look. Like, I'm not trying to like deceive anyone in the pictures on eBay or anything. It's just like, that's how they look. Like it looks good. And it just, for me, it's so pleasing to clean a pair of shoes. Like whenever I have a bag of like 28 pairs of shoes sitting over there, and I can't wait to get cleaning. I like cleaning probably more than I like the selling and obviously listing. But I mean, it's just, you can actually see the work is getting done at like a speed that you want it to get done, because sales, they're not always, as fast as you want them to be. So that's my like,
the cleaning part being your favorite is going to take you very far in your reselling. It's like my cleaning to me is like my therapy. Like, I just put music on and I just get to it. I like seeing the before and after too. It's, the sweat equity. It also lets you know that you're doing something, like you're putting the work into it. So Ray said he's going to visit his son in Tennessee, and he's going to try doing a Southern U.S. Southern accent. I love it. Tennessee is full of it. Yeah, everybody there is. You're gonna sound like Dale Earnhardt pre-wall. It's going to be awesome.
Pre-wall.
What Houston rappers? Oh man, into the dope house until high school. I mean, my favorite Houston rappers is I got into Mike Jones, and then of course like UGK. They're not from Houston, but they claim Houston. Everybody got into Paul Wall because we were just like,
Paul Wall.
Yeah, like, whoa, holy crap, that guy kind of looks like me. And but yeah, any of the SUC, like obviously DJ Screw and all that stuff. See, Dana hit 7 estate sales today. He's gonna kill it. You're killing it off of people that have killed it over. So congrats, man. Art, dude, you could barely talk yourself into doing a YouTube video. So I imagine you have trouble haggling, dude.
But they're still the best videos YouTube has to offer.
So funny. He could just, I think he needs to transfer over to TikTok or doing reels of him just like talking to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Conversations with art. Just,
Yep.
it's so good. Dana said you should be able to offer $1 on anything with a straight face at a yard sale. Oh, Jesus. Would you take $1? I don't know if I can't even do that right now with a straight face. Keith, I go to Cole's Flea Market over by Hobby Airport. I think it's the Beltway and 35 if you're in Houston. You hate cleaning shoes. Oh, man. I don't. You got to change it up. Dude, are you using a power drill yet? Are you
Me
still
no. I use
No?
a toothbrush. Yeah. I use a toothbrush in the bathroom sink with a generic magic eraser. And
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know, it.
I don't know if you can see them off camera. I buy the bulk magic erasers. They usually sell them like 3 for $1 at the dollar store, but Walmart started selling a great value pack of 18. So I get those.
Really?
I break them in half. Yeah.
That's what I do. I'll just like go real hard on the one corner, and then I'll just slowly like rip pieces off until I have like a little rectangle left. But
and then
they work.
Your floor's
the cheaper
covered.
the better with those things. I swear.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I see. You know, I asked about the power drill because I've been thinking about trying to get back into it. I used it in the beginning because I thought it would speed up the process and it's going to clean faster because it's all about repetition. But I would make a damn mess everywhere. And so I saw Dealing with Dalton did a video on how he uses it. He puts it in like a bucket and then cleans. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's more stooping over. Like I have a table and then I put like a towel in my lap. But I have like 5 different brushes. I got a chainsaw file so I got 80 grit sandpaper in case I can't get the marker off the bottom.
Oh wow.
Me personally,
I use like the 99% alcohol gets all the, I don't know where I'm going like off screen with it, but yeah, I use 99% alcohol with everything. I tried with the Goo Gone, and have you ever like, do you use Goo Gone at all?
I use this is what I use. This is the best one that I've been able to find. Pro Strength Remover. And it's clear.
Does it stink? I would send out shoes and they would smell so bad. Like I'd scrub, I'd scratch, I'd scrape. I could not get the Goo Gone smell off.
Oh, I figured it's using like the gooey Goo Gone? It's
yeah.
like to
get the stickers off. I was just using that a little like.
This stuff is like WD-40, so it's clear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, so I just put it on the cotton swab or something and do it, not directly on the shoe. But I also have like I have this like shoe freshener. I have a bunch of bottles of this, and I just spray it into the shoe before I pack it. That way, when they open it, it's got a like clean Febreze smell. And so far, I've had no like, hey, your shoe smells a little too fruity for me or anything like that. I do use acetone, but very, very, very seldom because I ruined a pair of Retro 4s taking the paint off with acetone in my early days. And I ended up, I still sold them, but I couldn't sell them for high value because I completely stripped the paint off.
What's the highest dollar pair of shoes you've sold? Because I find like I was saying earlier, like a lot of the shoes that I find are like, if I find like a $40 pair, like it's, it's a big deal.
Well, yeah. So I would say 85% of the shoes that we sell is going to be your bread and butter shoes, which are in your $25 to $40 range, which is the highest solds on eBay. That is your price margin. Even with COVID and everybody out of work and unemployed, 25 to 40 is the standard for shoes on eBay. And so that lets you know that as long as you're selling in that range, you're going to sell them as long as they're clean and good. But the most expensive pair that I think we've sold was like $179. They were some Jordans, but I really don't like high end because they terrify me because collectors are so picky.
Yeah, I'd rather sell a pair of Asics and just Nikes like every single day,
Yeah, for sure. Like I just got boots and Asics going out today, just and some Merrells, like just regular. I'd rather sell $10, $25 pairs of shoes than have to deal with selling one $250 pair of shoe.
Yeah.
I know it's going to get authenticated, which is fine. I love that about eBay now, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean that when it arrives to the seller or the buyer that they're still going to be like, you could get that one person like we have with, hey, the shoes were ugly in real life, so I returned them. You could get a collector that's like, hey, there was a fray on the third shoe hole string, and it's like
Yeah.
you can't get shoes graded that I know of. So, but that's one of the things you have to deal with. Art says he bought 100 generic magic erasers off Amazon for $25. I've seen those giant trash bags on Amazon for $25 of magic eraser. But my brain goes into where the hell am I going to put 100 freaking magic erasers? But yeah, that's an awesome score. Dana he sells Danner boots. Like he gets them cheap. He sold 299 pair of boots. Our most valuable pair of shoes we actually just got. You saw it in our last thrift. I probably have them. Oh, they're right there. Nike. Stacy found them. Of course, she finds all the high dollar stuff. Nike Air Huarache grip.
Yeah, like 350 or something I saw, huh?
421 on GOAT. StockX is 371. It's literally just a sock with a sole on it, but for whatever reason. But our buy cost $9.
And that's like a Goodwill find then?
Yeah,
for $9.
Yeah, I have it listed at $369.99. Just I don't care. I paid $9. That's my problem. I paid $9. So if I sold it for $30, I'm making profit. So in my mind, I'm like, you're winning. But if I tried to list this for $30, Stacy would kill me. So it's $369.99.
Sorry.
Oh,
Thank you.
no, you're good. How are you on time? I always forget to ask the guests.
I'm fine. You are my whole day today.
You hear that, Stacy? I'm his whole day.
I'm not doing anything at all.
I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. Jesus, y'all are crazy with that autograph thing. It's at 202.50. Like now I can't even bid on it.
Yeah.
Dedicate one day a week in my garage, music blasting. Yeah, so that's kind of what we do. I used to, I hate death piles. So what I do is if we go source and let's say we bring home 35 pairs of shoes, my brain automatically goes into, all right, you're staying up all night because you're going to clean 35 pairs of shoes. I'm trying to relax on that because, I got to play with the kids and obviously I have to engage in the family. Kids are like, y'all leave me alone. I got 35 pairs of shoes. I don't like death piles. So now I have 2 buckets behind me full of shoes and I'm just like, today I'm going to do 10. Tomorrow I'm going to do 10. Like I already have like 100 drafts on eBay. So I'll push through like 10 listings and then that way my listings are done for the day and then I can just keep adding. So that's what I've transitioned to try to do is go out and source 100 plus pairs a week, let them pile up, only source one day and then just clean at the house. Because if I go out thrifting every day, there's no time to do all the other stuff that is required in the business. So what I've found is we have certain days where we know we can go out and get like 100 pairs of shoes or more. And then that sets us for the week until January when we're full time. And then we're going to want to scale it to maybe 200 pairs a week, maybe go thrifting twice a week, something like that. But
no, I keep cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No, good.
How far do you guys travel for thrifting?
So
to get 200 pairs of shoes.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, Houston is massive, and we have 128 Goodwills, 4 Goodwill outlets, bins. 2 of them are within 10 miles from our house, and then we have like 40 family thrifts. We have there's like 200 thrift stores in our city, and I can get to probably 75 of them in 30 minutes or less.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
So we used to actually have routes. Like Monday, we're going to these 15 stores. Wednesday, we're going to these 10. And because we didn't have bins. And then when the last 2-3 years, they opened up the bins. So, and then what we do is we had the lists and then we would just kind of make notes like, hey, every time we go to this one on Monday, we at least get 10 pairs. So they're a keeper. Every time we go here, we get 1 pair. So they're off the team. We're not going there anymore. It's a waste. And we've whittled it down to like the 10 to 15 stores we know we can at least get 5-10 pairs every time we go. And of course, we've developed a relationship with a few stores where we can walk in. They see us and they're like.
But I mean, it's true with like the relationships. Like I'm not getting, backroom access, but like the other day I went to Goodwill and usually I'll, have like a cart or like a cart and a half of stuff, shoes and stuff like that. I'll try to get like shoes and then one or two other things just to switch things up if I get bored of shoes, which I haven't yet. But anyway, I went to Goodwill the other day. I only found like 2 pairs, and the person working charged me for 2 like children's pairs of shoes. It's just like you don't got to do anything special. It's not like I'm giving them tips or anything. I just round up every time I'm there and try to be nice during the checkout. And it's far it's paid off.
When the Goodwill bins opened here, we were there opening day, and then we kind of established ourselves with the manager. We kept going. She was actually a manager at another store and got moved to the bin, so she already knew what our game was. So when she saw us, she's like, "I knew I'd see y'all here." I'm like, "Oh yeah." But we've taken them like breakfast, like tacos. We'll show up right when they open with tacos. We're like, here, it's gonna be one of those days, But little things like that. But I mean, it's never transitioned into a discount. Just like we didn't do it just to get the discount, but you build those relationships, and I mean, they know they get the stuff for free, but they also know, and this is one thing I think a lot of newer resellers or people that don't resell or just aren't good at it, you'll see those people complaining about, oh, Goodwill's prices are too high, and it's like they're a business. Like the charity part that people don't realize is the charity is them hiring disabled people. Their charity is by them doing work source and having functions on helping people create resumes and helping people get a job and land an interview. That's where most of their charity work is. Obviously, they make donations and do other things in the community, but for the most part, those stores are to make money to fund all of the other stuff that they do. So if you go in there with the mindset of, oh, their prices are too high, and you're going to end up not finding stuff, or you're going to be the person that's going to ask the manager for a lower price, and then her mind is going to make a note like this guy is going to try and haggle, and it just doesn't work.
That's that. That's like I said, I started that way. Like I think one of the first things I picked up was like, just a terrible buy. It was like some keychains or something. It was like 3 like bottle opener keychains, and they were like 99 cents each. And I went up and I'm like, you know what? Let's do like 50 cents each. And that's when I said, they pretty much laughed at me, but like, I just left the store. Like I realized like all that's doing is stressing myself out. Just go in, pay what they're asking. And you you're going to make a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what got me into reselling was, not what got me into it, but like whenever I started like watching the YouTube side of things, when people would say like, I got this one pair of shoes, it will pay for the whole thrift trip. Yeah. Whenever I started thinking like that, like it's, it opens your mind for sure.
Average lotting. Not only is it easier for bookkeeping, like if you just lot, you don't even have to, I mean, like some people do it for their whole week. Like they'll source all week and then they do an average by cost. But if you just do it per trip, it saves you on your bookkeeping end. You don't have to do individual itemizations because honestly, the IRS doesn't care about individual itemizations like that. They just want to know you spent this much money on this much stuff. That's your inventory deduction. The end. But yeah, you also can realize like, okay, well, let's say these were $20. I'm not going to leave them there. Regardless if I think $20 is too high of a price. I'm buying shoes for $20, but I'm going to build around them some $3.99 pairs, some $4.99 pairs, especially some kids shoes. Like that's your specialty. I'm going to do the things to bring this buy cost down to $9. And that once you have that mindset, you're just like, oh wait, I can pay up for some things, not everything, but I can ask to see those Jordans that are in the glass display case with the pink tag. Oh, I can buy these Miss Me jeans that are $19.99 when most jeans at Goodwill are $6.99 here, because I know that I'm going to bring that buy cost down. So once you change your brain to that, everything gets different, and you definitely a lot more things open up, especially in the shoe category.
Mhm.
That's why I get so mad when Josh or Hair Tornado is always just like, shoes at my Goodwills are all $6.50, and I'm just like, what?
See, they were $7 here for the $6.99 here for like the longest time, and now all of a sudden I went the other day and I was flipping some of them over, and they were like 15, just anything that looked somewhat like fresh and clean. They
Yeah.
were asking 15, like they could be like, I don't even, like a Walmart brand or something.
Yeah.
Like, just because they look clean, they're asking $15, which, obviously you can't get the average buy cost down whenever you're paying 15 for everything. So,
Look at that.
oh
You're bringing
wow, the Cincinnati
celebrities in.
Pickers in here.
How you doing, sir?
I'm blushing.
You're going to pass out right now? No. Let's go to John. Yeah, so I was actually just talking about that on one of the last lives as far as like Goodwill's a business. So if at the end of the week, when the manager's looking at where they're making most of their sales, that's why they enter in the code. So if they pick up the shoes, they'll be like, are these men's or women's? They want to know because they track it. So if they're like, hey, we did like 500% more in shoes this week, they're going to raise the shoe prices because they're selling more in shoes, because the thought process is everyone's buying shoes. Let's raise the price. The problem is they don't do a slight raise. Yeah. All the shoes are $7.99 this week. We sold a lot of shoes, and the next week they're $15.99. They don't go up to $9.99. So what we do is, if that happens to us, we just skip that store for a week or two. And the sales go down. The sales go up in clothing or knickknacks or hard goods, and then the shoe prices fall back in line. But we don't go there and like, oh my God, what happened to the shoe prices? We just don't go. You don't want to cause a ruckus because it's a business, and I get it, because that's the same way I do things. If pesticides go up, I have to raise my pest control. So it's just the way business operates.
Yeah, that's what I don't know if you saw or not, but I found I posted it on my story. I think I found that like $370 baseball bat at Goodwill, and that was just the result of like overly priced shoes. And I just got aggravated with like that side of the store, and I went over, looked at the sporting goods stuff, and that's not going to happen every single time, but it's like refreshing to know that you like shoes, but if they're all $20 or $15, you're not going to make a ton of money on them. So you got to step out of your comfort zone, I guess.
Yeah. So
even though I wouldn't even call shoes comfort zone, really, I'm learning, but I'm really enjoying the shoes. I can't say that enough.
I think anybody that actually starts getting into shoes, unless they're just like not into cleaning them, and then really all you have to do for that is you can still get into shoes. You're just going to have to be very selective on the shoes that you get. You want to make sure that you can clean them in 90 seconds or less, which ultimately that's your goal down the road to begin with. Like, I didn't even touch these. These were ready to go. I pulled the sticker off and I was like, let's take photos. And that's what you want. But as a reseller, you're not going to have that opportunity every time. But shoes are great. I mean, it's just, I always tell people this, like, I hate feet. I don't like people's feet. Stacy will drag me to get, we'll have like a petty day, like, and I can't stand it. Like, all I do is sit there and I think about drop kicking the lady in the head every time she touches my foot, just like, stop touching me. And, like when I got my feet tattooed, like, ask my tattoo artist, like I punched him in the top of his head at least like 4 times, like, stop it. Like, I don't like feet. And here I am, a shoe reseller. But that's what, when you're talking about the bat, we literally got that bat because I saw you, Prison to Profit, and another person were making a killing off bats. And Stacy brought me that. I mean, I kind of want to keep it because it's really nice, but I already have it listed. It's just like the Louisville Slugger hardwood maple two-tone. Like, this is a professional baseball bat. Like, but it sells for like $60. So I got to list it because I don't play baseball and I'm not a professional. But I would never have picked that up. Because again, shoes is my main category, but same thing with the briefcase I just sold for $70. I'm not going to leave something if I know that the opportunity is there. Like, you can see behind me, I dedicate two shelves to non-shoe stuff. That's pretty much my thing. And you can sell anything, but when you say that's what makes art someone carry. Yeah, you can make a lot of money off a lot of different things. he just one of his last videos, he literally just like, would you take $1,000? Like he bought all these baseball cards. In my mind, I'm like, I have never even been to a yard sale where I had $1,000 in my pocket or could even offer somebody that much money for something. So I can only imagine that seller was like, hey, yes, I will.
Yeah.
I would love to make $1,000 on one item at a yard sale.
That's crazy. Yeah, whenever I go to a yard sale, garage sale, flea market, whatever, I'll bring I'll go to the ATM and get a 20 and a 10 out twice. That's it. That's my spending money. I don't know. Goodwill is my comfort zone, and I know I could get stuff for a whole lot cheaper, but for right now, I'm comfortable with it. So I don't know.
I think at garage sales, estate sales, people are more attached to their items.
Mm-hmm.
Like our neighborhood this weekend is our neighborhood's big yard sale. And we kind of stopped promoting and talking about it as far as in our videos and stuff, but that's where we sell almost all of our dumpster dive finds that we don't put on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently people just didn't like the stuff we were finding or that content. So we don't do it anymore, but we have an entire garage full and it's all new stuff that we didn't have from the last time we dumpster dived and had a yard sale. So Friday and Saturday is going to be crazy for us. And we always make over $1,000 total, not on one transaction, but we don't have that attachment to the stuff. It's not personal. It's just stuff to me. I mean, even some of my stuff that I've carried around since a kid, it's still just stuff. So if somebody offered me enough money, I'd be like, yeah, who cares about my childhood? Have it. But yeah, I noticed when I go to yard sales and flea markets, I actually start sweating more because I feel like the people are more attached to their items. And if I offer like some low offer, they're going to get offended and kick me off their property or something like that. So the bins and thrift stores are my safe haven too, because I know how to survive in those bubbles.
Yeah. I just want to stay away from like the awkward situations and stuff because like I might not look like it, but I'm sensitive. Like if someone yells at me at a flea market, I'm done for the rest of the day.
I just try to turn everything into a joke. Like if somebody's yelling at me and they're serious, like I still try to figure out a way to make it a joke. So it's like inside, I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Why are you yelling at me? And then the other part of my brain is punch them, which I've learned long ago that never ends up working the way you think. That pig sound you guys hear is that's our blind. He gets lost. Max. That's the rescue that we're donating for the Harry Tornado autograph thing. It's the Boston Terrier Rescue here in Houston. He's a foster fail. We foster the not terminal, but the ones that have issues. Nobody wanted to adopt him because I'll get him. He's blind and deaf in one ear, so he gets lost. 1 second. Max, hey, you're parking in the corner, dude.
Oh,
wait, where are you? Where are you? He can't see, guys. That's Max. That's so funny. Anyway, I didn't want you to think those pig noises were me.
My dog's snoring on the couch over there. So it's fine. I don't know. Little dogs are noisy. I mean, all my dog does is snore and just honk.
Oh, Dan was asking if you go to the bins. Yeah.
Yeah, I go to the bins. I've been trying to go. I'll usually go like every Wednesday just because there's like, people are all like gung ho in the beginning of the week. And then, they kind of burn out a little bit like around Wednesday. And then, And then, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the weekend people, you just let them do their thing. So it's usually on a Wednesday. I try to go Wednesday every week.
We learned that the best time for us to go to the bins is in the morning. So we'll drop the kids off at daycare and then we just hit it because the afternoon crowd, they're more, what's the nice way to put it? They'll throw elbows a lot faster than the morning crowd. The morning crowd are kind of like, if I grab a shoe and someone on the other side of the bin grabs it, they'll be like, oh no, you can have it. Mm-hmm. Whereas the 3 p.m. crew will just like pull it out of your hand and let the, cause ours are, I'm not trying to say rubber banded. Our shoes are rubber banded. They'll pull the other one. They'll pull it and just let that rubber band go and just pop and then just look at you like, what? And you're like, oh God. Stacy said I'd sell one of the kids. Yes, I totally would. Not sell them, but I did come up with an idea. I was like, look, we have every age bracket of kid. If you are never seen us, we have eight kids. Luckily, the Army, I sold 2 to the Army. But we have every age from 2 years. Well, it was a baby, but now 2 years to 20 years old. So I was like, let's create an app or a service where people that want a kid or want to see what a teenager is like, we just rent them for a few hours. Like, oh, you want to see what a 13-year-old's going to be like? Here, take this.
You woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. Enjoy.
Yeah, the problem is our kids would be really nice to strangers and then act like a teenager to us. So that was my only drawback to the app. But let me see. All right, TJ, thanks for stopping in. You guys make sure you subscribe to him as well. We can wrap up here soon, man. If wait, I'm way behind on the chat. Sorry, guys. Hi, Max. Yeah, Max. Hi, Max. He's awesome. Yes. I don't know what the aggressive means. I'm not aggressive. Oh, the 3 p.m. crowd, they're aggressive. Yeah, and I've kind of toned down as I've gotten older. I'm not that kind of like, no, that's my shoe. Like, I'm just like, whatever. I'll get the next one. That's why I don't jump in on new rows. Stacy will. I won't. I'll just go to the older ones because I find brands that people don't know, like the Vionics and the Finco and stuff. Like, people are like, why are you getting that? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it.
Yep.
Chacos, like a lot. I find so many Chacos and Tevas, however you say it, because people and I'm going to say it the way I say it. Hawkas, not Hokas. There's an A there. It's Southern Hawkas. They don't pick those up at the bins, and I'll get them.
Mm-hmm.
They think they're like the Walmart Shack shoes.
Yeah. What was I going to say about the bins? My bins, they don't have any of the shoes, together whatsoever. I mean, it's terrible. So, I mean, that's what I'll do. I'll go around with the cart and just collect single shoes and just, my girlfriend does the aggressive, go into the new bins and stuff. And I'll just do a lap with the cart every once in a while. She can just throw stuff in. But yeah, I'm just around looking for the matches of shoes. I mean,
that'll drive me nuts.
Yeah, it does. That's why I don't the one time I went to the bins one time, I found a roaster, like a turkey roaster pan thing, which, no one was touching. It was still in the box. It was like a vintage roaster. I sold that for $110. Just like you were saying, the stuff that people don't, expect. I sold 16 pounds of vintage Garfield plushes not too long ago.
Nice.
That I found at the bins. I mean, it's just stuff people don't want to deal with.
Well, there's a huge following for stuff like that. Like me, I've collected Simpsons stuff since forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I have so much that I started selling it. It's just people buy Garfield stuff because it's a grumpy cat. People buy Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny and all that good stuff. But yeah, I always tell people, even at thrift stores, like you, me, everybody that's in the chat right now, we could all go to the same store at the exact same time, and we're all going to find something.
Yeah,
because we might all be shoe sellers. But there's something for everybody, and I think that's another great thing about this is it's kind of, I don't want to join crypto or anything like that, but it's kind of like cryptocurrency or a stock. There is no cap. It's exponential.
Mm-hmm.
We live in one of the wasteful countries on the planet, and we are all finding a way to capitalize off of it in a way that gives us our freedom to live our lives, be with our kids, go on vacations, make stupid YouTube videos, do whatever. I love it.
Yeah, there's no other way to put it. It's freedom. I'm 27. I never thought I consider myself retired, I never thought I'd be here. And, I'm not whenever I say I never thought I'd be here, I'm not making $1 million a year from eBay or anything, but I'm happy. So,
yeah, well, if you wanted to get in your car today and drive to Texas, you could. You don't have to ask your boss for time off. You don't have, that's what I enjoy the most about all of the reselling. That's why that's why we're getting rid of the other business, because I look at it. Yes, it's profitable. Yes, we make money doing it, but it ties up a lot of my time. And every year I have to go to school and learn more about the trade and learn about all the new things that have happened and the biology of this bug, and oh well, this is going to happen in Texas, or I'd rather just sell shoes and people's trash and be able to never miss a kid's baseball game, never miss a school function. When it's our kid's birthday, that kid doesn't go to school. We spend the whole day and go just do whatever we want with them. Like, not a lot of people can do that. So are we millionaires? Hell no. And our kids don't get everything, because I also believe that you should work for things. Like, if you want, like, before he joined the Army, he wanted these like $200 pair of shoes. I'm like, okay, well, I'll buy them for you, and you have to mow the yard 10 times. And you can have them now. You can wear them and flex on all your friends and everything, but you're going to earn them. Those are the things, again, they don't teach you in school, going back to school. And we set up custodial IRA accounts. We have IRA, so you can invest and do all those things for your retirement on your own. A lot of people think that, oh, I can't quit my 9-to-5 because of the the benefits, or it's like, you can find the similar thing. Now, if you work for a company that matches you, or you're close to like retirement or pension, obviously, or if you actually love what you do, I mean, there's no need to quit that. But for most people, they just go there because it pays the bills. And they're only excited, not to sound like Gary Vee, because he's redundant by now, but they only live for the weekend and for when they can have their time off. And I have time off whenever I want.
Like, not knowing what day it is like the greatest feeling in the world. I used to get so nervous on Sunday thinking about going back to work on Monday. It would just, ruin the whole day. I wouldn't get anything,
You could ask Stacy. Ask Stacy. Yesterday I had 11 pest control stops. I woke up pissed. Like, and I made money. I mean, we did over $1,000 yesterday in killing bugs, but I was pissed that I had to go out and do it. It was so hot. It's just not enjoyable. I'd rather, I didn't make $1,000 yesterday on eBay, but I would have rather have been home than out doing that. But it is what it is. So John was saying, only been in bins a handful of times. I don't fight the crowds either. So the whole reason that I started YouTube was literally just to film bins fights. Like, that was my whole channel's idea. It was going to be bins fights instead of bum fights. And I was just going to go to the bins and film people acting insane. But then I started jumping in, not acting insane, and then selling the stuff, and then just turned into a treasure hunt. And then here we are now. But I still love trying to catch that on film if I can. Like people at, Wawa or at a gas station try to catch like crazy customers. I think the bins is the best place where it's like Mad Max. Like, people just forget common decency and like,
it's like, every man,
it's like prison.
Everyone's there like trying to make a living, I guess. That's how I see it. I don't know. The last time I was there, though, this lady came flying up the center of the store with her cart and said, if I find out anyone touched anything in my cart, and she just went on this big long rant. Everyone stopped. You heard the stuff drop in the bins, and everyone just listened to her. It was like the craziest thing of all time. Like, she was, like, if anyone steals anything out of my cart, better watch out.
And the crazy part about it is everybody stopped and listened. And we're like, mental note, that lady's psycho. Don't touch her stuff.
I did not touch. I wasn't within 20 feet of her for that whole trip.
But we have a few people at our bins that I Stacy and I know, like, hey, just stay away from this lady. Just stay away from this guy. Like, yes, if they're going for shoes, don't even try. Just leave it alone, because it's like they go there with that chip to start stuff. And I don't know how your bins are, but our bins are actually patrolled by cops. Like, when they bring the new rows out, they have yellow tape on the ground on both sides of the bins, and you have to stand behind the yellow line. And then they bring the bins out, and they bring 2 rows of, I think, 6 or 8. So it's like 16 rows or 16 bins. And then the cop stands at the end, and he's like, get back, don't touch, everybody back, go. And like, you'll kick you out. They're crazy.
We get 4 bins an hour at my bins. So, I mean, it's like you go there and pick through it, and then, if you're lucky enough to catch like a restock or whatever you want to call it, or a bin switch, that's good. But if not, I'm fine just going there and picking through what they have. But yeah, it's not that crazy.
Yeah. So ours are We have 11 rows. Each row is double binned. So I think there's 14 bins per row. So there's a lot of bins. And they rotate an entire row every 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all day.
That would be an experience then. Yeah, because I mean, I have an hour to look through all.
I'm like, Houston's huge. We have a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Like I look in the back sometimes because the manager there is like really awesome. She bought a Flip the World t-shirt. I see the Gaylords in the back full of shoes, and they just have like this. They just take it looks like a forklift, but it has a weird thing that can pick up Gaylords, and it picks it up, and then they just dump them into the blue bins, and then they just push them out. And I'm just like, can I just go back there to that Gaylord and?
Oh, so your bins are like the shoes are together, and there's like bins
Separate
just for shoes.
So the shoes have their own bins, clothing have their own bins, hard goods have their own bins, books have their own bins, DVDs have their own bins. Everything's sorted. It's just a giant. And what happens is if you go in later in the afternoon, people from the clothes bins, mostly the vintage kids, if you're watching, they just grab and throw.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the shoe bins will be full of clothes and stuff. So that's why I like going in the mornings.
That's crazy. Yeah, I have to like dig in underwear and like broken picture frames to just get one shoe. And before you know it, I have a whole cart filled with just one side of the shoe.
I found knives, 30-round magazines with ammunition in them. Like I always like just go take it up to the front because they don't let that stuff in there because especially with like the crazy lady with nobody touch my like that's the last person you want to find a knife in the bins. That's why I always say like our Houston bins are kind of like prison because the yellow tape you have to stand on, and I always make jokes like as soon as I get on the line I just squat down and cough. I'm like, I'm sorry, wrong place. But yeah, anytime we find all kinds I've cut myself on like broken ceramic at the bins, and like they're like, that's why you're supposed to wear gloves. And I'm like, no, I like bleeding. People stay away from you.
Yeah, I always leave the bin sticky. It doesn't matter what I find. I'm always sticky when I leave.
I think that's like you have to leave the bin sticky.
Yeah.
You're not doing the bins right if you don't leave with like sticky or dirty hands or something, unless you're like one of the people that wears like the UV gloves. But like I can't feel stuff when I have UV gloves on. I don't know. I just can't.
You have to feel the quality of the item.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
commit to looking it up.
Since the whole mask thing, like as a shoe reseller, like I like have to go in the corner and be like, because I don't want to buy stinky shoes, but I only have one good nostril as it is because my septum's deviated from blocking people's fists with my face. So I'm okay. And then you look over and somebody's looking at you. You're like, damn it. I'm going to be on an Instagram or a TikTok. There's a random shoe sniffer at the bin.
A random shoe sniffer.
Yeah. You got to smell your shoes. The last thing you want is somebody like, because Air Monarchs are very popular right now. The dad shoe, but a lot of dads mow the grass in them. So you don't want that smell. Same thing with cigarettes. Like I learned that very early on. If you bring home a pair of shoes that smell like cigarettes and you put them on your rack, all of your shoes now smell like cigarettes.
I had a pair of leather shoes. Yeah, I got oddly enough at the bins. These shoes probably smoked 50,000 cigarettes themselves. I rub dryer sheets on them, soap and water. I don't really like getting leather shoes wet, but I mean, I scrub these because they're like nice, like Timberland leather shoes, like shoe boot hybrid things. But yeah, I mean, they just smell like cigarettes. I had to get rid of them.
Yeah, you can't. It'll ruin your inventory. And these are just things that you learn as you go. Because you're like, if you find a pair of nice Nike or boots or something, you're like, oh, but this is $2. This is amazing. And then you get home, you're like, this is why nobody picked them up.
Yep.
Lesson learned. Nana says she goes to some of the bins outside of Pittsburgh. The clothes are actually hung up in rows. Oh, wow. I try to avoid clothes. In my mind, clothes are too hard. They take too long, and you're digging too much to find profit at the bins. I know you can find amazing stuff in the clothing section, and I know the vintage kids find great vintage stuff. I see it all the time. I try to interact with them. But if you're a new person going to the bins, clothes is going to overwhelm you, and you'll never go back to the bins. If you're going for shoes, at least for us, because they're in their own bins, it's very easy. You just have to navigate through not going to new rows unless you want to throw some elbows. But I always tell people, go to the bins for the first time and just spend 30 minutes just walking around observing. Don't even look for anything. you'll learn how it's like a jungle. You'll learn the flow. You'll learn who the people are you want to avoid. You'll see who the
Mm-hmm.
helpers are. You'll see who the resellers are, and you can engage with them and kind of, if they come there regularly, they'll give you tips. Like we give people tips all the time that come up to us
Yeah.
at the bins and like show them like, hey, like when the new rows come out, maybe consider avoiding those people. It just, I want to see everybody win, and
Mm-hmm.
I that's the whole reason our number one video on YouTube is actually how to survive the bins, and it's because I made it because I when I walked into the bins the first time, I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I know everyone else does that, and
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in a position of being like scared or fearful for my life. I was like, well, I can beat everybody up here. I'm okay with that, but these people are savages.
Yeah.
How do I survive in this and make profit and not just like be like, oh, I'm going to go to a retail store and continue to pay the retail price. So
Yeah, and like make it something that you visit often. That was my hardest thing in the
yeah,
beginning.
get your face there.
Like that took the first time I went to the bins, man, that took so much out of me. You're fighting people, you're constantly on because everyone else is, so you want to, and I remember I was like, all right, I'm going to take a month off. But whenever I started like really seeing like an increase in my 90-day total and like even my bank account was whenever I consistently started going to the bins because you were just getting stuff so cheap. And then you find crazy stuff there, like those Nikes that I found, the ones from 1982.
Yeah.
The like,
display case Nikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome.
So I mean, you just find the craziest stuff. It's so cheap, and it all seems to sell. It's like it's almost like the stuff at the bins is like more like in demand than the stuff that you find like cleaned and put on the shelves at Goodwill. Yeah. Honestly, it's like just like everyday stuff.
So a common misconception for the bins is that it's all just stuff that didn't sell at regular Goodwill stores. Now, yes,
yeah, that's not true at all.
Goodwill does send stuff to the bins, but the bins are actually supplied from other places, other distribution. They come in on Gaylords. The semis bring them constantly. It's not just your local stores. Like for us, we always seem to find, like if it's sports teams related, it's always from St. Louis. Like our bins are full of stuff from St. Louis. There's just Cardinals everything. So that lets me know that a lot of the stuff is coming from up there. But that's why a lot of people are like, I don't need to go to the bins. It's all the stuff that's been on the shelf for a month at the Goodwill stores. I'm like, well, that's not very true.
No. I mean, I find like a brand I wasn't even really familiar with was Justin boots, like the cowgirl boots.
I got to wrap
They
it
are
up.
like, I don't know what people in Pittsburgh are doing with cowboy boots, but they like, it looks like they get them dirty once, maybe wear them to a concert or something outside, and then donate them. Because I'm getting, every time I go, I'm getting at least 1 to 2, which is crazy to find like 1 to 2 pairs of like the same kind of shoes. Like if it's not Nike or something, like I'll go there and find 2-3 pairs of Nikes, but to find like 1 to 2 pairs of Justin boots every time I go to the bins, it's been crazy, and no one's going after them. Yeah,
and that's I mean, for us, that's like a $35-$40 a pop. Like Justin boots is they're not up there with like the
Ariat.
Yeah, Ariat, or I mean, there's like I always get the names wrong anyway. Lucchese or Lucchese boots or anything like that. Justin boots are your bread and butter. Like, hey, I need boots. I can afford these boots, and it's either going to be Western or it's going to be a Roper, and those are the Justin boots that sell awesome, especially Ropers. It got dark because my light is the battery went out. So I guess that's going to be my wrap up cue. If you're watching again on the replay, guys, thank you again. My guest today, Jiggly Thrift, the man. His name's Mike, guys. I know we all call each other by our handles, but his name's Mike. This has been fun, man.
Yeah, it has. It's crazy. Like I came into the live like feeling like I didn't, deserve to be here in a way. Like I was blown away whenever you asked me to be on this. Like I've been preparing for 2 weeks.
Well, you didn't watch the last live then, buddy, because I am a freaking nobody. No. Dude, I think everybody is awesome in their own way, and I think just like people bring different things to the music scene or to whatever. I think everybody brings different things into the reselling community that makes them valuable. So I don't think there is like a hierarchy in, you know, obviously when, you know, you get John Cincinnati Picker or Harry Tornado or anything come in, you're going to be like, for a second, but at the
it's a pretty big deal.
At the end of the day, like if you ask them a question or you DM'd them on Instagram, they respond. And so it's like, I think the best part of that, the reseller community is nobody seems to be above the community.
Yeah. I mean, we're always learning. So, I mean, you know, 90-day totals can be higher, but, you know, the knowledge, everyone's always looking to,
for sure.
You know, anyone from 14 followers to 14 million, you know. I don't think there's any 14 million follower resellers, but, you know.
Probably
you know
on YouTube, it'd just be Paul Cantu. But yeah, that you said that earlier, like you said, I'm still new, I'm still learning. It's like, dude, everybody is learning all the time. That's what's so great about it. It's one of those, like, we're all in reselling school, and every day is a lesson. I'm learning about new shoe brands literally every day. And then people are like, oh yeah, I've been selling those forever, and I'm like, dang it. So I think it's great. Earlier, I want to end with this. Earlier you said that this was your first like big payout, your first big eBay payout.
Yeah.
Are you do you have it? Do you have a set, like, do you have it broke down to how you're going to do it? Like, do you have, like, I'm a numbers guy. So like my payouts, like 40% goes into an account for bills. 30% goes to reinvesting into inventory. 15 goes into IRA and things like that.
I'm still trying to figure that out with like the, because I see a lot of resellers talking about like getting like a card for like the reselling side of things. Me, like just being a month out of like my full-time job, or real job, I guess, if you want to call it. I wasn't full-time. I was, you know, working with my injury, but I was just kind of like getting all my money into one place and then just putting money into like a savings account. I was trying to like split every payout. You know, like I would do 40% to savings. I'd keep like, I don't even, it's like, it's
as long as you got a plan.
It's like it's a different like breakdown week to week, depending on like how much I make or like what bills are coming in. So I guess to answer your question, no, I don't have like a set in stone like plan, but I'm not making, say if I make $500, I'm not going out and sourcing with like 80 of it and then spending the rest, you know, like I'm being smart with my money, but you know, I'm not doing like the most that I can, I guess. I don't know.
No, I only ask because that's a small section. I think a lot of, and I'm sorry, I'm so dark, man. I'm like,
oh, you're fine.
First time with the webcam. Now I feel like it's turned into one of those OnlyFans videos, and I don't know if I'm supposed to take my shirt off or what. The back end of reselling people don't really talk about is like how to navigate your finances, as far as like make sure that you're, you know, dividing for your bills and covering all things. Like obviously everybody's trying to cover their bills, but the part about investing into your IRA or your 401k and with the split account, I don't know if you use Venmo or Cash App, but you can request a debit card from them. And then once you get that debit card, they actually give you an account and a routing number. You can then add on eBay and have that money go directly to there. And then you can use that card to do any of your purchasing. And then, Cash App keeps a ledger. So there's your inventory ledger for your bookkeeping if you don't do any kind of other bookkeeping outside of that. So it's one way to track everything where you don't have to go open up another bank account. I'm actually moving one of my accounts probably to Cash App because Chase every month $12 maintenance fee, and it's just like Jesus. So I'm just going to move all that and then probably go that route. But yeah, it is smart to have another card to separate your business and personal. Really, that only saves you the headache around tax time, but it is very smart to do that. But.
Yeah, I'm still figuring that. That's for sure. I'm still figuring out like the money side of things. But yeah, I'm definitely interested because I had like I forget what a 401k or something at my old job. So I'm interested in, you know, getting like my own form of retirement, whatever that may be. Like I just figured out like health insurance at the like middle of last month. So like this month is the retirement side of things. You know, I'm free every day, but it's just so easy to go thrifting or clean shoes than, you know, do something you don't want to do.
Oh yeah. So see, you're ahead of me, man. You've already got the healthcare figured out. My healthcare is a shoebox full of cash. I just pay cash, and then I take my emergency every morning so I don't get sick. So like all 3 eye surgeries I've had in the last year, I paid cash.
That's crazy. Because I know my knee surgery. Whenever I got my knee surgery, getting that bill, like I think I paid $500 total for everything, or it was like $528 or something for everything, and it was like $85,000 for like the knee surgery, hospital stay, and I paid 500 of it. So I'm like, that's the first thing I'm doing is getting health insurance, because I was young and dumb before that. I'm like, I don't need health insurance. I can go to the doctors every 8 years or whatever.
Yeah,
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
That's where my brain still is. The kids, Stacy covered, no problem. But me, I'm just like, look, my parents are in the medical field. Like they're retired now, but they were nurses. Like my dad used to bring the shots home, like for school. So I didn't have to like go to a doctor. So I don't like doctors. I don't like hospitals. I don't like any of that stuff. So my whole thing is, my healthcare is me not getting sick or getting hurt. But so like your situation with your knee, I probably would have just duct taped it and wore a knee brace for the rest of my life, because that's just how dumb my brain is.
I did for 2 weeks with everything torn. I walked around for 2 weeks.
Ugh.
And then on Valentine's Day, I went outside to I wanted to go down to my storage unit and get some orders pulled before had Valentine's Day with my girlfriend. So I step outside and I fell again on my same knee. So that's whenever I took care of it. But yeah, I fully planned on going through the rest of my life with one good leg.
It would look like the Civil War at my house. I would have been biting on a wrench while Stacy's sawing my leg off, just with a hot iron ready to just cauterize it. It's just like, dude, I broke my fingers, and like I never did anything with them. So now I can't close that pinky all the way. So like if I ever do get into another fight, I'm gonna, hello, old chap. like pick their nose. I can't make a full fist. It's because the
quick eye poke.
Yeah, the tendons when the bone healed, the tendons weren't stretched, so now they're permanently in like a bent position.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's just dumb stuff like that. Just I need to get insurance. Bottom line, but
it's not as bad as it probably varies state to state, but it's not as bad as you would think. I thought I'd be. Obviously, you got a family. It's me and my girlfriend. We have our own health insurance, like each individual, and then we have a dog and a cat. So like, I'm not worried about that has to be like a big step for you. I mean, taking care of the family, kids.
Well, yeah. So they have insurance. So that's the good part. But if Papa dies, I guess they just get all my investment money, so they'll be all right. And I'm sure Stacey will find someone lovely. I'm sure she has a list of potential backup plans. Let's close it out, man. Let me see the knuckles. Let me see what you got.
I got
Pokemon.
I got Pokemon, and then just a random. I got like Dale Earnhardt. You can't see it. Dale Earnhardt there. I got Waylon Jennings. I can't.
Sweet, that one's awesome.
Got Pokeball. Got still Black Flag.
Nice.
I keep turning my hand the wrong way.
Yeah, it's hard to do it. Yeah, that's awesome.
I was like, just do all 18 knuckles, top and bottom, at one time, and then.
Yeah, I want to get my lower digits next, but before I do my lower digits, I'm actually getting my palms. So, I mean, why not? I'm a retired reseller, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going on the 20th. I'm getting something on my stomach. I don't even know what yet, but
oh god, the stomach sucks so bad. Oh.
It's gonna be my first one there. So
when he did inside my belly button, I literally just like sweat out everywhere. Like it was like a jellyfish squirting out ink or something. It's just like I was like, is it hot in here? Like, it was the worst. But awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Like,
thank you.
This was awesome. We went way over because I was having so much fun. And because you said that you gave me the whole day, Stacy.
The day is yours.
All day. I'm going to say that. Gave me the whole day, Stacy. So I'm going to get off, go feed her, and then probably clean some shoes. She had her first dose shot yesterday, so I'm trying to like manage out how much time I have till she starts feeling like crap. So I got to go feed her. But thank you again, guys. Make sure you check him out. He is the next king of TikTok. If you don't know, it's jiggly.thrift on Instagram. hit up his eBay store and all that good stuff. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.